What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark. I'm a blind film critic, and I can only imagine too. Yeah, this is a sequel to a biopic. I For people who are like, what would Michael Part 2 be like? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's watch I Can Only Imagine 2 and see how they stretch a biopic into into another chapter of life. So, yeah, this is Kingdom Films, which is a branch of Sony, released this. So it's a Christian-based film. Uh, John Michael Finley, who played Bart, the lead singer of Mercy Me, who wrote the title song I Can Only Imagine in the 90s, is back here again playing the same character with a band. And in his life, um, he grew up and got a wife and started having a family. So he has a kid, Sam, who ends up having type 1 diabetes. So he has to constantly check his blood glucose and take insulin shots and everything for his whole life. And Sam becomes interested in music. So Sam's joining Mercy Me on tour. They still have the same Brick. Is that his name? That's like their manager. That was Trace Adkins. Still here. He's fine. It's honestly like I don't know how you feel about Trace Adkins as an actor, but this is like the perfect role for him. He just kind of stands there and it sounds like Sam Elliott. So it's like, which is feels kind of appropriate because I think of Sam Elliott being in like the Gaga Bradley Cooper version of that movie that I it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm gonna move on. So this one is actually about Tim Timmons, who is played by Milo Ventimiglia. But the funny thing is, so I was trying to do some research and I couldn't find that Tim had actually toured with Mercy Me. So I didn't go too deep. I don't know like the Christian music scene, so I think this story might be nonsense. And they felt like they wanted to do Tim Tim's story because his story is uniquely special, but they wanted to also push Mercy Me's story forward, even though they already did a film about Mercy Me. So this is less of a Mercy Me movie and more of a Tim Timmons movie. So if you're into Christian music and you're like, what is this? Whoever Tim Timmons was to you, like I didn't recognize his song, but I did grow up as a 90s kid and I can only imagine was like everywhere back then. I This other guy, I don't know if his song is necessarily as um you know everywhere as I can only imagine was trending on like pop radio. Like it's everywhere. But so his deal is, and this is easy if you know who he is or just simply ask your any device that you have while you're watching the movie. He was diagnosed with stage 4 like liver cancer. He has a tumor in his liver back in 2001. He's been living with stage 4 cancer for 25 years. So that's the kind of inspirational stuff that really gets people involved in like Christian music. And I'm saying it's not just like I've lived a hard road and God led me through it. It's I've lived with stage 4 cancer for 25 years. I'm gonna keep praising. It's like, okay, well, it's working for you. It looks good on you. I completely understand. I would too if I was living with stage 4 cancer for 25 years. So, I would give a question as to whether or not it is stage 4 at that point. I would think the doctors would go back and reevaluate and be like, was it really stage? Who diagnosed? Is it really stage 3? Come on now. I mean, so, um, that's basically his story. He joins the band. He's sort of like a solo actor. He's figuring out his own thing and writing his own songs. He's been inspired by Mercy Me, and eventually he writes a song, Even If, I think is the name of the song. Meanwhile, Bart is trying to figure out what to do with his son, who is becoming like a musical prodigy, but he's also not always paying attention to his insulin. And then the band really is supportive of him. It's a very inspirational movie. Is it as good as the first one? Not quite, but not like, oh my god. I thought one of the funny thing was is Brick wrote a book and they're like, they kind of jokingly go like, Brooks' book sold 126 copies. I'm like, it's gonna sell more now. It's because you just pointed out that this dude wrote a book. And I guarantee there are some good Christian folk out there who are like, oh, that man, that good Christian man wrote a book and it only sold 126 copies. Well, praise be. Let's let's be 127. So, um, it's silly in that they use it as a vessel instead of just using the I Can Only Imagine brand to push Tim Timmons. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way to suggest that this is really Tim Timmons' movie because they just used the title. So it feels still like it's really predominantly a Mercy Me movie, or they're gonna like write a song called I Can Only Imagine too. But when really the heart and soul of this movie is Tim Timmons' story, it's weird that he's not in the title. You know, I can only imagine, colon, even if, right? So, uh, that would have been a better title for this. I thought this was fine. I like the first one better. This is just one time watch, maybe. Like, I didn't hate myself for watching it. It's sort of an unnecessary movie, but I've definitely seen worse Christian movies than this. So, films that seem to sacrifice all sorts of plot and acting and everything just to push a message, and this doesn't really do that. This it may not be 100% true story or even a 1% true story, other than the fact that this man does exist. Since I can't find that he toured with Mercy Me, it doesn't mean that there's not a story here worth telling. And I guess they just thought a biopic on Tim Timmons that nobody would watch that. So they had to Frankenstein this thing together to get people back in theaters. They're like, well, the first one was a hit, and it's been doing pretty well in streaming and platforms since then. So if we slap that name on it, we'll get people back in the seats. Okay. Sure you will. So I can only imagine too. I'm gonna give it a 6.2 out of 10. I'm fresh on it, but I'm not like enthused. It's enough where I can't not say that I didn't I didn't hate myself for watching it, and I wasn't mad at the film, but I did kind of go, I don't think we need this, and I think this is a weird package for what this is. So, um, that's it. That's what I got. It does have audio description. I thought the audio description was fine. There's not much here. It's basically the first film, but with a new character lobbied into it, and then they go on tour, and there's stress about the tour and problems they have to overcome, performances that they give. It's the same film with a slightly different angle to it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.